afternoon. My name is Amy Byington, and I'm the Lee County Agriculture and Natural Resources Extension Agent. And this is...
I'm Sarah Graham, and I'm the current intern at the Lee County Extension Office.
And we're pretty lucky. We're actually right beside the Greenbelt in Pennington Gap, and so we're going to take you on a quick nature trail of the Greenbelt in Pennington. Alright, at the Greenway, we're actually right beside the Powell River. And the Powell River is actually a river that runs 196 miles, and it joins up with the Clinch River and then flows down into the Tennessee River. So this actually is part of the Tennessee River Basin. If you've ever wondered about TVA, which is the Tennessee Valley Authority, this is the reason why we're part of that. It's because our rivers flow down into Tennessee. But the Powell River has a lot of special things about it. We have special mussels that they can't find really anywhere else that are endangered, just like the Clinch River. So the Powell River and the Clinch River are very special.
Okay, so we are currently standing under an eastern hemlock, which is a tree. It is a conifer, so this means that it's going to stay green all year round and not lose its needles, and it has short pine cones. So in our area, we are actually having a problem of the hemlock woolly adelgid, which is an insect that is actually threatening the hemlock. So on our little nature walk, we found a cardinal. Cardinals are also sometimes referred to as a common redbird thanks to the male's bright red plumage. However, the female cardinal presents a tan body with a few red highlights. The cardinal is Virginia's state bird along with 6 other states. The cardinals also have the privilege to be mascots and logos for sports teams and different organizations across the United States. Thanks to the shape of the cardinal's beak, they can eat diverse types of seeds, berries, and grains, which allows them to be a non-migratory bird, meaning that they don't have to leave in the winter to find another food source.
Alright, so today you built a terrarium and you put white clover seed in it. And you actually put what's called Dutch clover in it, which is a smaller clover that we usually see in our yard. So we can find a 4-leaf clover. A lot of times we'll find a 4-leaf clover if we get a lot of extra fertilizer around it, nitrogen. But this clover here is actually known as a legume. And a legume is a plant that actually makes its own nitrogen. And it does this because it has a symbiotic relationship with mycorrhizae, which is a type of bacteria, okay? And from that relationship, it actually produces its own nitrogen, and it can produce nitrogen for other things. And that's why we like it in the yard, because it helps everything else grow so much better. So in here we can look and see, mainly I'm seeing 3-leaf clovers, but anytime we get some extra fertilizer, I'll usually find some 4-leaf clovers.
Here we see a female honeybee. How do we know it is a female? All worker honeybees, which are going to be the ones out foraging for pollen and nectar on flowers like this one, are going to be females. Honeybees are the only insect that produces a food that humans eat. And when the bees find a good source of nectar and they want to tell the rest of the colony, they do a dance called the waggle dance. The nectar that they are so eager to tell the rest of the colony about is the substance that bees need to make honey. Okay, so now we are standing under a black walnut tree. So this tree actually has a compound leaf, which means that several leaflets make up one leaf. Also, this tree produces a chemical that actually kills vegetation around it. So if you have a garden, you do not want to put it near or under a walnut tree. Also, this tree produces a nut that many people still eat today and include in a bunch of recipes. Another interesting thing about this tree is that the wood under this bark is a dark chocolate color.
Okay, so this is what's called fleabane, and a lot of people don't realize that it actually has that name. They just refer to it as a daisy, and it is in the daisy family. You'll find it a lot. It's considered a weed in this area, especially out in pasture fields. But it's very pretty and people like it, but its actual name is fleabane. We found some ant hills on our walk today, and we want to share some interesting facts with you about ants. Ants are usually seen as pests. However, if you look at them closer, you can find some very interesting things about them. They can lift 20 times their own body weight. They also don't have ears. They basically feel vibrations. They don't have lungs, meaning they don't breathe like you and me. Their bodies are covered with tiny openings, which allows for oxygen to go in and carbon dioxide to be released out. And there's over 12,000 different species of ants. They're found on every continent except for Antarctica.
Okay, so here we actually have poison ivy. So the rule to always follow is 3 leaves, let it be. So as you can see, there's the 3 leaves and we're not going to touch it. And it's even starting to produce a flower and a bloom. So poison ivy actually causes you to break out because of an oil that's on it, and you can see here is a root and how it's crawling up the tree and how it's putting out those fibrous roots, which can even have some of the oil that can cause you to break out. So our rule is 3 leaves, leave it be. Also, we can talk about this tree here. And as you can see, it's hollow inside. So this tree has actually been affected by termites and insects. So, but why is it still putting out green leaves and living? Because the inside, which was eaten by the bugs, was actually already dead. The part of the tree that's living is the outermost ring, and this tree has healed itself so it can keep producing green leaves. Now,
down along the river, as you can see, that we have a lot of sand. So when we talk about soil, we have 3 particle sizes in soil: sand, silt, and clay. A lot of times in the valley where you see the clay, down here by the river you'll see a lot of sand. You'll also see sand on top of the mountain. Sand is gritty, doesn't hold a lot of water, and the reason why it's here is it's the largest particle size. It doesn't hold water, it doesn't hold nutrients. It's the heaviest, so as we have a rainfall event, it's the first one to fall out of the rain, out of the water that's been accumulated. So it deposits it here, and so we have quite a bit of sand here along the green belt.
okay, so here we are at a flowering dogwood. So this is actually Virginia's state tree. So as you can tell, it just has a simple oval leaf, and the dogwood is part of a group of trees that we call mad bucks. So the trees in this group have opposite branch arrangements, meaning that they come out right beside of each other instead of alternating. The other trees in mad bucks are maples, ashes, the dogwood, and then your buckeye.
Alright, so on our trip we also have found a buckeye, and it's bipalmantly, so all the leaves come out of one point, but this is a one whole leaf. So each one of these leaflets is just a leaflet, and this whole thing is actually the leaf. Okay, so this produces a buckeye nut, and buckeye nuts can actually kill livestock. We'll have several cases a year where somebody has some livestock that gets into buckeyes and either die or get sick. But buckeyes are pretty neat. They like to be along water, and so it's a very nice tree to have around. Just have to be careful about it with livestock. On our walk today, we also saw a blue herring. And blue herrings are very interesting birds. They have a wingspan that is 5.5 feet to 6.5 feet wide. They can live up to 15 years old, and they're known as fishers. And they're very, very patient. So they catch fish in aquatic life by walking really slowly or standing really still for long periods of time. And this gives them an advantage. So blue herrings are very beautiful birds. They mainly eat fish, and sometimes they will eat mice. But they're very beautiful birds that we can find here on the Powell River. And now we're challenging you to explore your own backyard and look and see what kind of nature you can find there. So in your box you should find the In Your Backyard scavenger hunt. So if you get a chance, take that scavenger hunt and see how many of these items you can find in your own backyard. You can let us know how many you get by whenever you drop off your photo of you doing the scavenger hunt, and we hope you have fun.